Hello and welcome to this very special podcast interview on the Opinion Center with none other than Pavan Verma, former diplomat and expert and public commentator. So thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. Sir, I just wanted to know from you, how do you see this perpetual lockdown that this country is undergoing now? Has the Indian government handled it or mishandled it in your views?
In my view, the first phase of the lockdown was useful
Mm-hmm.
because it yielded three dividends.
Mm-hmm.
First, it reduced the transmission rate.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, it dramatically sensitized people to the importance of social distancing.
Mm-hmm.
And thirdly, it gave much needed time to upgrade our health infrastructure, including PPEs, masks, ventilators, hospital beds, uh, health workers, testing kits, contact tracing, and quarantine facilities. However, I believe that any further extension of the lockdown is not warranted now because the economy is in very deep trouble. In fact, it has moved from the ICU to the ventilator, and therefore there are likely to be more deaths now if the lockdown continues from starvation and malnutrition than from the corona.
So,
Thirdly,
yeah. Yeah, yeah, please
thirdly,
continue, sir. Yeah.
thirdly, I believe that the facts that have come to our knowledge so far reveal some very important facts. The first is that for whatever reasons which are still being analyzed by epidemiologists, the fatality rate in our country is one of the lowest in the world. Secondly, our recovery rate is improving.
Mm-hmm.
Thirdly, at least 75% of the cases are asymptomatic.
Yeah.
And lastly, I think uh, we are demographically a young population, so the impact of the disease in terms of fatalities and the requirement of critical care is very low.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, we have no option but to live with COVID, and a lockdown is not a solution, it is not a cure, it is only a pause button which we have already used in sufficient measure.
So, sir,
We must also remember,
yeah.
last point,
Mm-hmm.
that a lockdown in a country like ours has a limited effectiveness and diminishing return.
Mm-hmm.
The largest part of India lives in conditions where social distancing and self-isolation are next to impossible. 49% of Delhi is officially a slum
Mm-hmm.
with an additional 820 Jhuggi Jhopdi clusters. What social distancing and self-isolation can you practice in such circumstances? It is not a coincidence that Mumbai has some of the largest cases because Mumbai also has one of the world's largest slums, which is
Mm-hmm.
Dharavi, with a population of 1 million extending over 2 kilometers. Therefore, a lockdown in the circumstances now prevailing, I believe, is not efficacious or effective. We need to immediately do everything to reboot and restart the economy, and that should be our first priority, except for some highly contagious, limited containment zones.
So, sir, are you for partial liftment of lockdown or complete lifting of lockdown?
I believe that instead of falling into this categorization of partial or complete,
Mm-hmm.
what the government, central government needs needs to provide, which is also mentioned under the Disaster Management Act under which the lockdown was imposed,
Mm-hmm.
is a national roadmap for the exit of the lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot have a situation
Mm-hmm.
where it is partial but sufficiently obstructionist for the revival of economic activity. We need a roadmap by which the economy is able to now reboot, and that cannot be done half-heartedly, hesitantly, reticently, or in a half-pregnant way,
Sir,
because the economy cannot be held to ransom by a color-coded
mm-hmm.
nightmare called orange, red, and green zone.
Mm-hmm.
The economy is a holistic entity. You have production, you have supply chain, you have retail, you have labor movement, you need transport, and these cut across several zones. In fact, they cut across states.
Sir,
Therefore,
yeah.
you cannot have a situation where the economic lockdown, I mean the lockdown continues to, because
Hello, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
because that will prevent the economy from restarting in a meaningful way.
So the economy is already in bad shape. Now in March before the lockdown, unemployment rate was around 8.74% as per CMI, and now it stands at around 27%. Plus you have the issue of migrant crisis, in which migrant workers are like they have been suffering. So how do you think this can be handled now? Because most of the migrant workers are returning now, whether by special trains or by their own facility. How do you see that situation? Also, in the context of some labor law changes in UP and Madhya Pradesh.
I want to say that the handling of the migrant labor crisis
Mm-hmm.
was not anticipated properly and not planned for effectively.
Mm-hmm.
The correct sequencing should have been to anticipate this problem,
Mm-hmm.
give a window for some days prior to the first lockdown for such of that labor
Mm-hmm.
that wish to go home
Mm-hmm.
and organize it with possible social distancing through the free movement of trains and buses.
Mm-hmm.
That was not done.
Okay.
Now, at a time when you are planning to restart the economy,
Mm-hmm.
you have finally begun to move the migrant labor when the migrant labor is required now for the production units where they were working in. So the sequencing is wrong, the handling was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that the new labor laws need to be discussed. There is need for economic reform. That is the welcome thought in the Prime Minister's speech.
Mm-hmm.
The need to proceed with structural reform.
So you have 30
And
seconds.
uh, with structural reforms which include above all labor, land reforms, and ease of doing business reforms.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your time and for the
Thank
interview. Thank you so
you.
much.